walking on through this crazy life. I just thought that I would let you come see a piece of this world according to me.
In a wide variety of situations, do you ever wonder, is it just me? I have a sense that I'm not the only one who has those moments, feeling like her opinions or ideas are something so totally out there. Hi everyone, I'm Ryan Farrell. This show will not only focus on the good, but also highlight the many businesses, charities, teams, and human beings who actively try to make a positive difference in whichever community they find themselves. Be inspired, be hopeful, but most of all, be entertained. I couldn't think of a better guest, a better profile for my premiere episode than this talented human being I have on the Zoom screen with me right now. My friend and former classmate from Marist College, musician extraordinaire Dan Zlotnick. Hi Dan, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks so much for having me, Ryan. I'm really excited for you and your new show and everything. It's going to be great.
Well, I'm saying and signing. Thank you.
And my pleasure.
So we'll just jump feet first, not head first, into this episode. How long have you... Now, you are not just a solo artist, but you're also have a great, fantastic band. I have a couple of your CDs. I'm very lucky to have personalized autographed CDs. So if you want to just give us a background on the Dan Zlotnick band, like tell us how that all, when you started and how that all came together.
Yeah, so I think it was in 2015, my mom heard me play a song that I had written, and at this point I was playing gigs and really only playing cover music because that's what I was comfortable playing. And my mom said, okay, you got to go record these songs because you have a couple really great original songs. And I just asking around town. Someone told me to go visit the Loft Recording Studios in Bronxville, New York, which is not too far from where I live. And I called my old pal James Marciano, who was in my band in high school. He was the drummer in my band in high school.
Throwback
and
Thursday.
I said, I'm trying to put a little album together. Would you be willing to play drums for this album? And Al, the bass player and the engineer, says, if you come down, you record in my studio, I play bass, I'll learn your songs quickly, and we'll make any changes that we need to make. And so those two guys really became the core of the Dan Zlotnick band, simply for the fact that they were willing to play my songs and they knew the music. So Al said, why don't you get a gig? We'll rehearse, we'll do a bunch of songs together. And ever since then, we've had some people fill in here and there, and some additions, and like our keyboard player Simon O'Keefe, who recently moved to Los Angeles. He was more of a permanent member, but when he moved, it came back to me, James, and Al, and so that's a really fun band to have. James I've been playing with since 2006, maybe. So we have.
So you were a freshman in high school, not to age either one of us, but.
But it's really fun because every time we go out, it's a different show, and we kind of feed off each other, and it's always exciting and surprising to play with those guys, and they're both just so good that we lock in very quickly.
Well, that's fantastic, and that ties in quite nicely to the athlete you've been your whole life. So not only at Marist, you were a very talented, throw your foxes up, Red Fox baseball pitcher for the baseball team. So would you consider your two musicians to be like your team? Could we say that?
Absolutely. And what's fun about it is that there's no competition. So
Right.
like, as you know, you can prepare with your team as much as you want, and you can do everything that you can do, and then someone on the other team just beats you, and and that happens sometimes. With music, it's all positive. Like the work that we put in and the practice, it's all for fun, and it's all for connecting with the people on stage and then the people in the audience. And so there's just such an excitement around it without that fear of failure. And now certain songs and certain shows don't go as well as others, as with anything. But at the end of the day, you're playing music, and it's the best thing in the world.
It's camaraderie that
exactly.
I feel like you wouldn't get that anywhere in any other type of industry or nook and cranny of the world, right now especially.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is we get to spend the time together that it takes to set up, the time that it takes to break down the set. We're not at the level where we have roadies doing that for us, so we spend a lot of time, chit-chatting and
your own roadies.
Know each other, and it's always just a blast to be around these guys, and they're definitely my friends in addition to being my bandmates.
That is wicked awesome.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm going to teach you how to speak
how to speak Massachusetts. Yeah.
How to speak masshole. Yes. So what have you been working on any music lately? I see your setup in your fantastic at-home recording studio.
Yeah, so my wife Melissa and I bought this house. We're very lucky enough to buy this house in April, and so since then I've been kind of perfecting the studio. My dad and I built the panels behind me and trying to make this a little bit of a kind of a recording cave. And so I recently, over the summer, from May through October, I released one single a month, but I've still got a bunch of songs that I'd love to record, and we might do something somewhat of a live album. I might do some more home recorded stuff, kind of the broken down acoustic stuff. It's just, there's so many options, and that's kind of the fun and the challenge at the same time of being an independent musician, is that there's no management in my ear, no label in my ear saying, hey, we need a new album by this month or anything like that. So I can kind of take some time to get used to the space, get used to recording on my own, and then take some time to write some great songs.
Well, that speaks to me and my creative tendencies very, very nicely. And so, Dan, would you like to give us a snippet of one of your songs?
Sure. I was thinking I would play the song "I'm Not Leaving," which I released in July, and it's the true story, or based on the true story of. It was actually an old Facebook friend that I had seen, and her father received a heart transplant and was able to meet the mother of the donor. So this young man had tragically passed away way too young, and but since he was an organ donor, he gave this man a kind of a second lease on life, and so that song really inspired me. I reached out to the family, and they heard it, and they really liked it. So we were actually able to raise some money for UNOS, which is the United Network of Organ Sharing. So it's a special one. But yeah, it's called "I'm Not Leaving."
Well, I already have the chills, and I'm speaking for my viewers when I say this. We can't wait to listen. So take it away, Dan Zlotnick.
Thank you very much. She felt her son's heart beating
chest of another man. The accident took Jackson, but gave his man a second chance. She bowed her head a moment from the weight of memory. The last thing Jackson told her as he faded soft and sweet. I'm not leaving you behind, 'cause I'm not leaving you at all. She picked her head up slowly. Can I ask a favor of you? Can you go to see the Badlands? Jackson always wanted to. He said, ma'am, I would be honored more than you'll ever know. I will bring him to Dakota and everywhere I ever go. I'm not leaving you behind, 'cause I'm not leaving you at all. Almost 10 years later, the man said his goodbyes, and his body turned to soil, sending roses to the sky. A young girl picked a yellow one, she gave it to her best friend, with a note in her best cursive. It said, together through the end, I'm not leaving you behind, 'cause I'm not leaving you at all. I'm not leaving you behind, 'cause I'm not leaving you at all.
Oh my goodness, Dan. That I've listened to this song on the CD you sent me countless times. I watched the beautiful music video, but to have you sitting right across from me, and to see and hear the emotion and the joys and the pains of that song, that I'm speaking for myself and for all of our viewers today. Thank you so much.
Oh, it was my pleasure. That really means a lot. I appreciate that.
Amen. And one of the lyrics of the song about the yellow roses, I love that because yellow roses are my sorority flower.
Oh yeah,
Alpha
I
Sigma
didn't know
Tau.
that.
Alpha Sigma Tau's flower is the yellow rose. So
Wow.
I mean, this song was meant to be played on Is It Just Me?
Awesome.
So thank you so much, Jan.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to collaborating, and like I said, I'll put my feelers out in our local community here, because I know Massachusetts rules and regulations and restrictions aren't as strict as New York's.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
and everything's always changing, but you know, I hope to make it out there soon, and maybe this summer when it's not 10 degrees outside.
Yeah, well, like that's not even exaggerating.
Whatever,
I know.
Whatever keeps people happy and safe and healthy. And
Amen.
Able to enjoy music and each other.
Amen. Well, this recording studio Zoom screen concert just did just that. So
Well,
thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll chat soon, all right?
On the new show. Yep, I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Be well.